When it comes to using our money, a lot of times it's not something that we necessarily think about. It's something that we know this is the way you do it. Interest is bad, pay off the debt as soon as possible. But that's not always the case, especially when it comes to thinking about things through the lens of control. How could you be in more control of your money, of your cash flow, of your finances? And how do you experience the freedom that comes with that? Today, we're going to talk about how to put yourself, your family, your business in more control of their finances so you're not on autopilot. So you're not just doing things because you know that's the way things are done. But instead, you're able to make a conscious decision to put yourself in a better position going forward. Hi, I'm Olivia Kirk.
I'm Tim Yurek. We're from Tier 1 Capital, and we're here to show you how to regain control of your money.
We see this pretty much every day. People trying to get out of debt as quickly as possible, paying off debt in a short amortization schedule, and then even paying extra on that debt to save a couple dollars on interest. But today we're going to talk about why that's not necessarily always a good thing and how to put yourself in a better position going forward. Because what people see is, okay, I'm paying less interest, but what they feel is, oh my gosh, I don't have any money. I'm working so hard. All I need is more money to come in, more revenue, more sales, more business. How do I do that so I could have some cash flow relief? But what we found is it's not the problem. More sales is not the solution to the problem. Instead, looking at how you're using your money on a monthly and daily basis and breaking that down to put yourself in control is how we're going to solve this issue.
And we bring the unique perspective of viewing things through a lens of you being in control of your money. And what we have found is that when you view things through control, through the lens of control, automatically you make better decisions with greater clarity, because it's real simple. If I do this strategy, will this put me or my business in greater control of our cash flow and our money? And if the answer is no, then you don't do it. If the answer is yes, then you do it. And it seems so simple, but it's so difficult because those habits that we've been trained to use are really hard to break.
Especially when you think about, they're passed on generationally, right? So if your dad or your grandfather or your mom or your grandmother did things one way and you respect and looked up to them, then that's the way you're going to do it because they knew it was right. And so you know it's right because of them. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are feeling that pinch with the cash flow. And especially as we come into a recession and the economy tightens up, it's going to become more and more evident and more of an issue and more important to start looking at things through a different lens of putting you in control and making financial decisions that are going to make you feel better from a cash flow perspective on a monthly basis.
It reminds me of a story. There's an old tale of a young woman recently married and had her parents and grandparents over for Easter dinner. And when she was making a ham, and before she put the ham in the oven, she cut both ends from the ham because that's the way her mom did it. And she said to her mom, "Mom, why do we cut both ends of the ham?" And the mom said, "Geez, I don't know. That's the way my mom did it. And Grandma happened to be there." So she turned and said, "Grandma, why do we cut both ends of the ham?" And Grandma said, "Well, that's simple because my oven back in the day was too small to have the whole ham, fit the whole ham in the oven. So I had to cut both ends out." Of course, there are bigger ovens today. But the point is, we do things out of habit that may or may not make sense if you look at the context from which those decisions were originally made.
Yeah. Especially today. If you're a successful business owner, that may not necessarily be the situation that your parents were in, but it's certainly the situation that your kids are seeing you, right? So you're able to stop, take toll, take inventory. Okay, is this the way things actually should be done, or is this the way that things have just always been done, and am I following suit, right? Does this actually make sense for my specific situation?
But again, viewing things through the lens of control, that changes everything. That's been a game changer for our clients in the fact that now there's a reason behind every decision. And you're not transferring away wealth, cash flow, and money unknowingly and unnecessarily. And again, that allows you to be in greater control.
So we recently met with a business owner who's in his 60s. He has his children in the business. They're in their 40s. And their situation is simple. They earn a great amount of money. They have about $7 million of revenue going through the business. But they feel cash flow poor, right? Why? Because they're paying back their debt as quickly as possible because they know that's the right thing to do. They don't want to waste any money on interest. So that's what the first generation is doing. That's what the second generation is seeing. And a lot of times it's hard to break those habits, right? So let's talk about what symptoms this business owner is experiencing when it comes to making these decisions?
Well, it's a combination of several things. Number one, cash flow pinch. So they're always at a deadline because they're getting these invoices and they have to pay them. So that is creating other issues, which is it's putting pressure on the salespeople to close deals so they can get cash flow quicker. It's putting pressure on the installers to maybe cut some corners to make more profit in a faster way so that they can get the deal done, so they can get it paid, so they can pay the credit without incurring interest charges. So every splash has a ripple, and the ripple effect is creating greater and greater cash flow distress.
Right. And I mean, it's stressful as a business owner. You have a lot on your shoulders and you want to make the right decisions, not only for you, but also for your staff, also for your customer. And so it's important to realize that, one decision you're making on how you're using your money and your cash flow is impacting all of these other people, right? How can we get you in a position where you're in greater control, where you have access to capital? I mean, at the end of the day, we see it, whether it's a family, whether it's a business, people always think they just need more money to feel better, right? If I earned more, if I got the raise, if I got the bonus, if I get one more sale, all of my cash flow concerns are going to go away. I just need more money now. It's not the case because that's not what is the problem, right? We have plenty of cash flow flowing. What the issue is where that money is flowing.
And how it's flowing. And the reality is you have a bucket that has holes in it and you're trying to fill the bucket with water, but you got a leaky bucket. So the first thing you have to do is plug the holes. And that's where this honest introspection comes into play, where you have to say, have I been a diligent steward of the capital and the cash flow? And you have to be honest with yourself. But once you plug the holes, think about this. The bucket will fill as long as there's a flow. It doesn't have to be a rapid flow. It could be a trickle, and eventually the bucket is going to fill. And that's the point. The point is you're creating undue stress by saying, hey, we need more sales, we need more sales, we need more sales. But you're getting more flow into a leaky bucket. And at the end of the day, if you don't address the root problem, you're never going to come to the right decision or the right solution.
Now, just because you've always done things one way and have gotten this far doesn't mean it's necessarily the right way to continue doing that. Especially as we're going through these economic changes and this economic turmoil, it's more important now than ever to put yourself in a position where you have a private pool of cash that you're able to tap into, to take advantage of opportunities when the markets are down, to buy inventory at a discounted rate, to cover your payroll as times get tougher. It's more important now more than ever to rely less on sales and more on that reserved pool of cash. But you can't build that pool of cash if you continue to make the same decisions that are putting you out of control of your money. If you'd like to learn more about putting your business in a stronger financial position as these recessions come, as the economy changes, visit our website at cheer1capital.com to schedule your free strategy session today. We'll talk to you about your specific situation and how to better that situation for generations to come. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and check out these two. We picked them out special for you.
Thanks so much for watching our video. And remember, it's not how much money you make.
It's how much money you keep that really matters. We'll see you in the next one.